Okay, with Jan Jalenak, the short film is a Shattering. It's a relationship film. It's 19 minutes long. It's from the Toronto Feedback Film Festival. Really interesting film. First off, great cast. And
Thank
so the
you.
gentleman, because my wife likes to watch Gilmore Girls. So
Right.
he's a little bit older now, but basically, that show stands the test of time. So that's her
It
calm down
does.
playtime. So I watched her film for the first time, and then I walked into our bedroom, and he was on screen again, and I was like, oh, I just saw this guy.
That's so
It's a
funny.
weird
That's
coincidence.
great.
So,
I love
yeah.
that. I love that. I know I had a neighbor, we shot in Pennsylvania and an old neighbor who, when she found out he was going to be in my film, she was like, Max Medina. And and I had to, the last day of the shoot, I had to like plan a little like thing where she could be outside so she could meet him.
It's funny how certain things, right? Like even like certain shows, certain like they just like they cross generations, and now new people are watching it, and it's just so interesting. And like I'm sure that was just a gig for him, and then he never thought much of it, right? He had like 10
Yeah,
episodes or whatever, and then all of a sudden it became this huge thing.
it's so true. And I had never watched it before, even though I knew him for years. And so after we shot the film is when I watched it. I thought I should watch Gilmore Girls, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Holds the test of time.
it does. Well, she's a good writer, right? Amy Sherman Palladino, yeah.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then Kelly Wolf is the other. So it's two people. So in terms of
Yeah.
like, I'm just curious because you're a playwright as well. You'd make films. Was this a play before? This was a
It,
script with the script.
it was. It was a play.
Okay,
I wrote it as a play first, and then I adapted it for the screen.
so was it? Did it play somewhere? Like, was it? Pardon the pun. Did it show
It hadn't.
somewhere?
It hadn't.
Okay,
I just because I had already made a film, and I just thought this was. I just visualized it as a film, and I said, okay, let's make this.
yeah, because you
So
made it cinematic, right? That was the worry where it's like really one location, two
always.
actors, 20 minutes, having a conversation. They got to be
Yeah.
doing something, right? They gotta be like eating or like you gotta use the location to your advantage, I guess.
Right. Yes. And and you have to simplify everything and cut. I had to cut so much because you say more with action rather than words. So it's always hard to make those cuts, but it was
Yeah.
good. And I had such a great editor. So we as well, we cut a lot out of what we shot just to make the story move
What was
more.
the rough cut? How long was the rough cut?
It was probably the first cut might have been about 26 minutes or
Okay.
so.
So you cut about 6, 7 minutes off then.
I think so. Yes.
And
I
because
mean, it's a process.
you just talked about post-production because it's a nice sound design too. Like it's a really solid sound design. Who did your sound design?
I had such a great team. It was C5, it was oh my God, Timothy Barry and Ron Bouchard, and they do Mrs. Maisel, and Timothy Barry did the movie Emmett, Till, that was about
Okay.
Emmett Till. But they're really good pros.
You can
They were,
tell. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So there's a
I know.
professional touch to the film.
Yeah, I mean, they did so many things that they were able to do so many things that we wanted them to do because we wanted the phone, the ding of the text ding that he's getting to
Yeah.
become like another character, and they totally the way that they did it, they just did so many little things that they do. I'm in awe of the post-production team, and the colorist as well was incredible.
Yeah. No, because you brought up like the one of the thematics where like it's the modern relationship where technology is a part of us, right? Like even though whether we like it or not, there's
Yeah,
other being that's like we all have I have it right beside me. We all have our phones like connected to us, and we're all different people, different relationships happening, and it's like
right.
this if this 15 years ago, this is not a conflict, right? So
Well, exactly.
yeah. So
Right.
it's a really interesting kind of take on, this mid-age couple, this long standing couple, everything seems to be great. And then it kind of like, as the title says, it shatters, I guess. Right. So,
Yeah, so it's kind of about what's unsaid in a long
Yeah,
time marriage, that's always just, it's always simmering, but it takes an event, something that they have to that they react to so differently that causes like all these little cracks to basically become craters. And
yeah. My wife was just like, we were just talking like this morning when we were dropping our kids off at school, and she was saying relationships are like a beautiful clean house sometimes, where the house looks amazing. People come in and like, oh, you have such a great house and you look so great. But then there's a closet of like all the crap and all the junk that you threw in the closet, and it's
right,
there. You know it's there.
just don't open that door.
You open that door, and but eventually you're gonna have to open that door, and it's all gonna come out, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's it. That's
yeah.
it. I know. It's yes.
Yeah. That's sort of your film in a nutshell.
Right. It totally is. And life, and marriage. And I mean, I stole a little bit from some true things that happened, but
Sure. Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So we went from post. Let's talk about the beginning. Do you remember when you kind of came up with this idea? So you said it was like I'm assuming it was a one act play, or when you wanted to write this story?
it's a dramatization of true events, to be honest. And it wasn't, I mean, not everything for sure, but our daughter did kind of do a little thing to us. I don't want to do the spoiler, but
Okay.
I guess I don't know. It's okay though. She kind of did create this event for us to react to.
Okay.
And but we didn't react in the way that this
Sure.
happens in the film.
Yeah.
So it kind of wrote itself, to be honest. The script, it was just I just sat down one day and said, okay. It just started pouring out, and then I also wrote a lot more to it. And during there's that, I have a lot of more scenes that happen after this scene. And what was kind of funny, I stopped writing it during COVID because my daughters and my husband at that time were all living in the same house. And every time he would come home, I would feel so angry with him because of something that he hadn't done, but that I had written that day.
Okay.
So, so
Okay.
I, so I had to stop writing it.
Well,
But
good thing at least you're aware of it, though.
yeah, right. So I stopped, but I'm going back to it now.
So did
But
you? So basically, you're saying there's a feature film here.
there could be a feature film here, although I'm working on a different one right now that I
Gotcha.
wrote, another one that I wrote a while ago that I'm hoping to make. That's my next project, not hoping. I
Gotcha.
am planning. I am doing
So
that.
that's going to be a feature.
Yes,
Gotcha. And then this one is a good proof of concept, and then you get that first feature on the off the ground, and then you can come back to this one and say, hey, look at this short I did. What do you think?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's make it into a movie. Yes, or
that's a
into a
good plan, right? So,
right.
oh,
Yes,
well, it's a really nicely directed film. So let me ask. So basically, you wrote the script, and then you decide, okay, I'm going to turn this into a movie. So I'm assuming location is key, and then the cast
yes,
is obviously key. So tell me about the process of like getting the best house for the where you shot. You said you shot in Pennsylvania.
yes. In Bucks County, Pennsylvania, which is this lovely, beautiful. It's kind of a beautiful suburb that is of Philadelphia or even New York City, kind of in between
Yeah,
the two. And I had some friends that had this lovely home, and they were kind enough to let me shoot in it.
that's
So
amazing.
I know it was amazing. And the
And it's
actors, and I knew both of the actors, and I absolutely wanted Scott for a long time. Once I started writing this, I thought Scott was perfect. And then I was in Los Angeles and having a reading of a different script of mine, and I had asked this Kelly Wolf to read in it. And when I saw her, because I hadn't thought of her as that part before, just because I hadn't thought of it. And when I saw her reading in this other script, I thought, oh my God, she would be perfect with Scott. And so I asked her to do it.
And
And
if they met, were they met before? Did they know
they
each other
did know
before?
each other because they were in a theater company. They had known each other through another theater company from years ago, but I don't know if they'd ever worked together. I don't think they'd ever worked together.
Because yeah, they
So
have great chemistry, but they look like they've lived like a similar life to make them an older married couple, if that makes any sense. Like it makes their
well, they're
relationship
both,
makes sense.
yes, I mean, we're all in the same age range and we all have children and they both have children and so that are, adults now, young adults. So, everybody had that life experience to bring to it, which was nice, besides their incredible talent.
Yeah, 100%. So then you
Yeah.
got the location and then you asked them to both did you do any rehearsal with them? Like what was the process
Well,
of
it was still COVID time. So, and
okay,
Kelly lives in LA and Scott lives most of the time upstate New York. So we rehearsed on Zoom a few times. We didn't get to really rehearse on set because only had 3 days and we had to start shooting basically when Scott was able to get there. And uh, we probably ran through it once or twice uh, on set, if even. So, but we talked about it a lot and talked about what their motivations are and the relationship. And, I made some tweaks when we did the Zoom rehearsals, because I could hear it and see what works, what doesn't work. It was great. It
gotcha.
was, it's a filmmaking is such a collaborative, that's what I love about filmmaking so much is the collaborative process, the collaborative aspect of it between, the actors and the cinematographer
Yeah.
and the, editor, everybody.
So I want to get to the cinematographer in a second, but tell me about like the art direction. Did you change anything in the house?
We
Did you already
changed
add to?
just a little bit. Yes, we did. We changed some of it. That was a little more challenging because we didn't have time to do a lot. And but I had the art directors who brought in some extra different pillows and just in terms of color and um, some plants for the background.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's talk about the cinematographer. So what was your process working with them? Did you storyboard anything? Did shot list? Like how was the process of like creating the shot list for the film?
Right. We had a shot list. And again, had more, it was more of a talking because I only I got him basically 2 weeks before the shoot because I was going to use a cinematographer from my first film
Okay.
who is absolutely wonderful. And
You Can Kiss Me, right?
yes, You Can Kiss Me,
Yeah.
which was also in this festival in the Toronto.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, he was working on a TV show. He's a cinematographer on a TV show. So, and he was available. That was the week he was available, to do the setup and all that. And then at the last minute, he had to shoot. He found out 2 weeks before he was going to have to shoot that week on the TV show that he was working on, the
Okay.
Godfather of Harlem. But so I had to get a different cinematographer. And the guy the person that I got, who was fantastic, was the person that I was considering for You Can Kiss Me. And then I went with Jay. So now I got to work with him, which was great. And he was he loves character driven stories. And so we really talked about, that we wanted, how we wanted to shoot and
Yeah.
get into the intimacy of the scene and of what was going on.
Yeah, because you have
So
there's a lot of long shots too. And one of my favorite shots of the film is probably like near the end where the glass is broken on the floor. And then
yeah,
he bends down and then she comes in later. And it's like almost like a 2 minute shot, right? Like it's like there's no cuts in that sequence.
right. Yes, yes. And we wanted to just kind of slowly come in to the shattered couple.
Yeah, well that's the metaphor, right? So but like
Yeah,
but there's something salvageable, let's put it that way. Perhaps.
right. Yeah, yeah.
But because there's
He
love,
was,
right?
pardon?
There's love.
Oh, absolutely. There's
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
There's, know, even when, there's love, even when there's betrayal, there's still, a lifetime of,
Yeah,
you raise children together, and there's so much there that you don't have to necessarily give it all. You don't have to give that part up, but you have to take care of yourself. So I feel like the end of this film, we don't have to know if she's absolutely going to be leaving or not,
yeah.
or if they're splitting up or not.
And basically you end the film where like they're on separate floors, I guess, right? So finally
Yes. Right.
she's gonna go upstairs and take care of herself by, I'm assuming, having a bath
Yes.
while he ponders his idiocy, I guess, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Men, you know.
What can you do, right? So, yeah, then you basically you kind of push out on both of them, right? Because then there's, like you said, there's a final, like it's a beginning and end, middle and end film for sure. But then, like you said, like what there's a next chapter that could happen, I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, there is. There is. You'll have to wait for the feature.
gotcha.
No.
I'll wait for it. Then you got the big shattered, and you shattered the titles in the end. So
Yes, that
yeah.
was, yes. The woman that did the titles was able to do that. We talked about it and wasn't sure how it was going to happen. I think she tried a few different things, but
So
seems
the
to work.
the film is set in the nighttime. Obviously, there's that night. Basically it's a night themed film. I'm curious if did you shoot it in the night or he kind of manufactured it the nighttime?
We had to cover the house.
That's amazing.
And
Yeah, it's a great job
yes,
because it looks like it's like you literally shot it at nighttime.
I had a really good crew. I had a great crew, and they were able to, I mean, there was a lot of, again, that whole collaborative process. It's amazing because when he came in and they were redoing all the lights, and I'm like, wait, no, this isn't my house. You can't do this. But they were able to put it back together, and they had, all kinds of tarps to cover the windows and everything that the crew does.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah, the
Sometimes it's
lighting.
like the people like who never got there have never had seen a film crew shoot in their house before. They immediately have regrets.
Oh
Because it's
yes,
like,
yes.
yeah, and then they're like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? There's too many people. They're like moving around. They're like, and then
Oh,
yeah,
and they were not there. They were far away. Thank
yeah,
goodness. If they had been there, I think it wouldn't have worked.
yeah, 100%. No, I've seen it before in
Although,
the past. Yeah,
yes, I have too. Yeah. So we were lucky. I mean, I think after my friend did say, I'm not sure that I would do this again. And she wouldn't let me know what I said. What happened? Was there anything out of place? And she was so nice. She said, it's okay. It's okay.
yeah. So
But I
there's
think
a
it was
story there, but she doesn't want to divulge, I guess, what
exactly.
happened.
I never found out. Right. They're
That's a
still
good
good
friend.
friends. So it's,
Yeah.
yes, right. They're still friends. So it couldn't have been that bad.
So you basically, maybe she want to use your place in New York City down the road. So
Right. Well, luckily
so
she's not a filmmaker.
no, I'm just saying for something. Yeah. So what did
Yes.
what did the actors think of the film? What did they when they saw it? I'm so curious.
I think they both were pleased with the film. I think they seemed to both think it was
Yeah.
good. I think it's hard as an actor, you always are self-critical and everything, but I think they were happy with it. I mean,
There,
Kelly
it's a.
came,
I
yes.
was just gonna say they're both really great performances because there's a subtlety to the like you said, like it's a stage, it was a stage play, but there's so much subtext in the film where like how they're reacting and like in an actor in another, like a director in other hands, it could be a little bit over the top tone wise, and they're just so like balanced with their emotions, and it's all in their faces.
Yeah, they were great. They really were. Because again, it's what's unsaid.
Yeah.
So it's really important that they were grounded in how they felt about the other, about this relationship and about the events that happened and everything.
So what did you think about the audience? We send the audience to you again. What did you think what they had to say about the film?
Oh,
Feedback video. Yeah.
yes, the feedback video. I thought it was great. It was wonderful. Um, I felt like they really got it. You know, they got the story, which made me really happy that the story that I wrote is what was conveyed, is what
Mhm.
was, you know, how they took it. It was really, it's always great to hear. Uh, I love when someone watches the film and gives me a whole synopsis because it helps, it makes even gives me another way to look at the story as well. It's
So the
great.
film's doing well on the festival circuit, and yeah, it's you
Yeah.
got another successful short film.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I was hoping when I found out I got into, I was so excited to come to Toronto, but it's all virtual, right? You're not doing any in-person
We're doing like,
screenings?
yeah, yeah, kind of like basically to maximize the audience feedback video. We kind of switch things around in the last few
Right.
years because it's like soon as the filmmaker is in attendance, it seems to like change the reactions. Like people don't want to say
Oh,
anything.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So basically, yeah, and then
Right. No,
also
I get
too,
that.
and
I
also
totally get that.
and
And it
also
is an
too is that
intimate.
the people who have something to say don't say anything because it's a public forum. So basically, the
Right.
ones who really have something to say don't say anything. So then we have to like, so we're just trying to get the best video for the filmmaker.
That's wonderful. No, it's great. It's great. You know, it's great to do it both ways. And I've seen it in a theater with like 350 people and in in a festival that was in South Carolina, the Beaufort International Film Festival, which was a great festival also. And it was not most, I mean, there were a lot of filmmakers in the audience, but there were also, it was a lot of local
Yeah,
people
yeah,
and a different crowd than the artistic crowd. And so the reactions, it's fascinating to see, to hear the reactions, you know, as the story unfolds, you know, with an audience. But it's also great to hear the reactions of someone who's watching it, you know, on their home TV,
yeah,
and where they really can focus in on it and have their own reactions rather than be informed by their neighbor sitting next to them.
100%. Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time. Yeah, I appreciate what you just said. It's fantastic, and I love this film, and I can't wait to see your feature film when it's done.
Oh, thank you so much. I was thrilled to have it in this festival and to get that feedback, and I'll look forward to seeing it when does the when you have it, you're going to be showing it again.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll
Great.
send you the link when it's up. I appreciate your time, and let's talk again soon.
Thank you so much. You take
Thanks.
care.